Watch out flip. I'm in the whip. All in the rest. I never switch. Ice in the wrist. I get the money, but I never switch. They saying you switch, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit. I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When the not savers, Be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, watch out for this. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. X slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out the back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip. Grip. Watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch.
Not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no, we gon' hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Brooklyn Bulls. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 60. Orange. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know. Go.
They'll run on first down. Benjamin, 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the run, it's Peyton. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
I'm trying to collect 61. Ready, go.
They run again with Peyton. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
You get block me. You get
They'll try the left side. Benjamin. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
check 55, Mike. Come on, come on, come on. Ready.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lamb. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. Hey, let's get in them holes. Chopper. Go.
Jackson now off the bootleg. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 32 on the play.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Down. 30 base. Let's go. Cut. Let's go.
Now again, right side, Benjamin. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Undercrush.
On 2nd down now, Benjamin. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he's hauled away down to the 6-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Ready up. 6. Months 56. Right here. 80 weapon. You got tight right there. Check. Crunch.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's Dillon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now They've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, dude. For the ball game, any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for Darius Geis, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front, so when you talk GMs are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On the ground, it's Geis. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
1st down, Seahawks.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run with Geis. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half, maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Come on, man. Let's go.
1st and 10 at their own 26.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jackson now. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Ready, go.
From the gun, Jackson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. Here's J.K. Scott now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Wilson off to Geis on the screen. He chucks him aside.
Dumped him.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a run with Geis. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. The tackle made there by Jared Davis. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Spawn! No! Zebra!
Now Wilson. That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
General,
To throw again, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now, after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
He's checking. Crash.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. They'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out, and that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 33 yards that time. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Watch the slip, watch the slip. Check it out, Reed. 14, got it.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
But not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Play action. It's Jackson going up top. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Mike 56, Mike 56. Go. Go. No, got it.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Let's get it. Luke 15. 32. Oh, you got G-Look. Come on, watch out. check three.
Wilson throwing on 3rd and long. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 17-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a dump off here complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be
a good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on 2nd down. Now Jackson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Jackson from the shotgun. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
1st down, Seattle.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff. Geis going right. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
280. 59. Check.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson flushed out right, and he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had a big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On the draw, this is Henderson. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
This is Geis, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Here's Geis. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. Jackson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. A gain of 13, it's a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. Jackson will throw again. And that's complete to Adams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They come up on a first and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Jackson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Marcus Davenport in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He's back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Third down, here's Geis. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Being strong up the middle is imperative. I don't care what your sport, but in football, when you've got a D tackle who can contribute not only to occupying bodies, but also making plays on the ball carrier, that's when you have the cornerstone of a solid run defense.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
What? 380. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the loss knocks them from the ranks of the undefeated as they drop their first game of the season. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big jobs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed to be emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard